We'll have to check his ID, though, of course, because Boris Johnson, despite being the Prime Minister who brought in a voter ID, did turn up yesterday without it.
Yeah, but he was also the Prime Minister who legislated for lockdown rules and then allowed them to be broken willy-nilly.
Yeah, I think the trouble is, yesterday it just wasn't a great look, was it, when you're the person who'd backed voter ID? He did eventually go back and get it. Do let us know if you had an issue with voter ID, because, of course, yesterday, first sort of tranche of elections where you did have to take proof of who you are, and there were a couple of hiccups. You didn't have to take your polling card, but, of course, it felt like you had to take your polling card, and I think people did get a little bit wary and nervous about what they were supposed to take. Let us know if that affected your ability to vote yesterday. Meanwhile, our main news this morning is that pressure is mounting on Rishi Sunak to call an immediate general election after that bruising night for the Conservatives in the local votes. And in the last couple of hours, Labour took the by-election in Blackpool South. So Keir Starmer is hailing that a seismic win.
Counting will go on through the morning, actually all day today and through Saturday too. We'll bring you the latest news as it happens. First of all, we'll take a look at the story of the night with our political correspondent, Louisa James.
I declare that Christopher Paul Webb is duly elected as the Member of Parliament for the Blackpool South constituency.
The Conservatives were never expected to win the seat of Blackpool South, but only beating Reform UK by just over 100 votes is a sign of a night which could prove more damaging than the Tories' lowest expectations.
The people of Blackpool South have spoken for Britain. They have said to Rishi Sunak and to the Conservatives they've had enough.
I think that's the best by-election result that Reform have had, so my reaction is very positive, really. You know, we had 5 weeks, we only had 5 weeks from a standing start. Yeah, I'm fairly buoyant about it.
In council after council, the Conservatives have been losing seats, from Rushmore in True Blue Hampshire going red for the first time in its history, to Leave voting Thurrock in Essex.
The government is struggling in the polls. People think about national politics. They don't always think about local things.
Redditch in Worcestershire and Hartlepool, where under Boris Johnson, the Conservatives were flying high just 3 years ago.
This has reflected how people are feeling generally, that they want something that's changing. And I think the Labour Party over the last 4 years has changed.
The Conservatives did just about hold on to Harlow, as well as the Hampshire Council of Fareham. And there have been warning signs for Labour too, losing ground to Greens and Independents over the party's stance on Gaza. While the Liberal Democrats have held on in places like Hull, but are hoping to make gains later today. Only around a third of council seats are being counted overnight, and the Conservatives are holding out hope for positive results in some of the mayoral contests, which don't declare until the weekend. But in the final big test of voter opinion before the general election, the verdicts so far point to growing political momentum for Labour and a dangerous moment for Rishi Sunak. Louisa James, Good Morning Britain.